All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Side Eye Podcast React of the Cyclones Baylor Bears game from yesterday, late morning. Your hosts, fellas, introduce yourselves.
Tim Jaspering.
Giving it to you in sign language. Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he'll be more vocal
Good thing we can
during
see
the
him.
episode.
For those, hopefully we don't have a audio podcast version of this week.
Yeah, nobody's gonna know. They're gonna be like,
Vern is signing
happened?
this shit.
Oh, my bad. Yes, DJ. All right, there we go.
And you know what? This week I'm Lonnie Duncan. All right, so lost. Close go down. First loss, 31-24. I mean, well, we almost got out of September without a loss. It didn't happen, but you know what? I mean, 3-1 ain't nothing to scoff at as we go into our usual hot October. Yeah, let's just talk about what the nation's been talking about since that first penalty of the game. The refereeing. If we wanted to be diplomatic, we could say the refs had a bad day. I, Lonnie Duncan, am not here to be diplomatic. And frankly, the refereeing was straight up dog shit. It was awful. It was terrible. If anybody wants to say it was one-sided, they are surely entitled to. It was just bad. Let's hit it. Freeler's out of the game. If you want to call what happened to him targeted, that's fine. I'm perfectly fine with it because we all know targeting is a subjective thing. It's literally in the eyes of the man who threw the flag.
He didn't throw the flag.
Oh, that's right. There was no flag. That's right. It's coming.
That's my deal on that play. I mean, technically on the replay, it was probably targeting. I mean, but if the ref doesn't see it on the field, you know, it's just like, I don't know. But the other thing I'd say about just that rule in general is I think it needs to be more like a basketball flagrant type of call, you know, as opposed to just automatically kicking the guy out of the game. So,
well, yes. Where's the intent?
Right.
Obviously, there was no intent for Freely to run in there and ram his head into there. I mean,
and if you don't see it, if the ref doesn't see it, how egregious is it? You know, I mean, because you know,
refs flag targeting.
Right. Exactly.
I mean,
You're supposed to.
Yes, they're supposed to, which we found later that they don't, because, like I said, if you want to call what Fraser did targeting, that's fine. But that means it's always got to be called like that. And as we saw, Baylor did that on multiple occasions. Not one, multiple occasions. The same kind of contact. And not only was there no flags, but there was no reviews of it done either. Yeah. And I think that's more the anger for the Freeler call. It's like, okay, if that's fine, you call it that way, but then to turn around and you got video evidence of when Brock got hit. I mean, that dude's head was so low. I would have thought he was trying to pretend to be a damn ostrich and stick his head in the ground.
Yeah, he didn't,
because
he couldn't see who he was tackling.
He had no idea what the hell was happening. All he was damn. His head was so low. He probably looking at his own damn shoes. Therein lies my call with the targeting. I thought the worst call for me was the unnecessary roughness on Reader.
Yeah, where he chucks the guy. It was just a normal. Obviously, it was a long time. But that's like a play they teach you in junior high. Guy cuts in front of you within 5 yards, you're chucking him.
Yeah,
and that's all he did. He didn't launch. He didn't launch at the guy. He just chucked him, because he had a crosser in front of him.
And that was the one that was where I was just like, there's no interpreting that. That's well within Reader's right to do. And the fact that you threw a flag, I've never, ever seen that called unnecessary roughness.
Yeah.
In my lifetime of watching football, I've never seen that.
Yeah. I didn't even see it. we're up there, I'm in the upper deck, and you saw it. And I was like,
everybody thought it was when they were tackling Shapen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, boy, if y'all were mad that you thought it was on Shapen, wait till you see what really happened.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till you see what they really call that shit on, and you're going to be real mad, because that was awful. And then strike number 3. If you would have bet me that there would be something called defensive blocking below the waist and it could get flagged, I'd have been like, yep, we betting paychecks. I'm about to get paid. We're doubling up today, kids. Going to the Sizzler. I would have taken that bet, and then we saw it. Defensive block below the waist on Anthony Johnson, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
Just right out in the middle. So he hits the offensive lineman, and the offensive lineman ends up. I thought when I saw that the flag was in that area, I thought they were going to call him for tripping. I figured, because he was kind of getting swallowed up by the offensive lineman, so I didn't know if he kicked his leg out, but it was actually the offensive lineman kicked his leg out and tripped his own guy up. But yeah, I would.
If you look at it though, if the ref wasn't paying attention to those two until after impact was made, I can unfortunately see why the call was made. However, when you look at it via film, like we have, clearly, it was not below the waist. Because again, he went a little lower to get leverage.
Right.
Offensive lineman also tried to dip low as well.
Yeah.
And this will happen. The end of it looks like it that he got below the waist, which again, I understand for the safety part of the game, but what is AJ supposed to do?
Yeah,
the dude running at him.
Yeah, even if he's getting ready to make a play, he's crouching to make a tackle.
Correct.
It wasn't like he was that low. He was just like, getting in position to try to figure out what he was going to do with the offensive lineman. Now I can see where you could call that play if Johnson would be diving at the offensive lineman's ankles to take him out, so to keep a linebacker clean or something like that. But
that's different, yeah.
Right. I think that's the intention of the penalty.
Correct.
But it wasn't even close to that.
No, it was not close.
Yeah.
He would have had to have gone up this way, and he got crushed. Had he not,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Just one of those. You just get sick of like. I told William, I'm like, does it seem like you just see these calls? Like this is the first time you've ever heard of it? You know, it's just
right.
And it was a third and it was 3rd and 7, you know.
Yeah.
So but anyway.
So thus,
we need some NWA in here. Instead of after police, it's after referees.
Yeah. So bad calls.
The side-eye ticker.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bad calls were, I mean, it was awful. And here's the thing: is did bad calls cost Iowa State the game? No. But unfortunately, it set the tone for the rest of the game. When you have those things piled, I don't think it matters in any sport. When you have those things piling up, I think it changes the way you actually play.
Well, especially okay, so you got 11 o'clock game. Road team comes in and it extends their first series to help them score. That's huge, especially when they're a good team, you know. So it just, like you said before, kind of sets the tone. But especially for the road team and an early game, you know, it did get it got. I mean, the crowd was in it right away, but that really helped keep the crowd in it. But yeah, as far as the tone setter for the road team offense, was not good.
Absolutely not. And I'm trying to keep my editing low. So I'm trying to be somewhat reserved, but I'd really like to snap. But I'm not going to. But like you said, they helped keep their drives alive. Iowa State still had opportunities to stop them, and we didn't. But it's hard for that not to get in your head, where you're like, you know, shit, we're already playing a good team, and then you want to go hit us with some mess.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now we've lost our safety.
Who could have possibly made that 4th down play where that guy sneaks out of the, you know, that tight end, was it a tight end? I think sneaks out in the flat there for that touchdown on 4th down. You don't know. I mean,
you're taking them out. I mean, that kind of stuff also energizes them.
Yeah.
And it's like now we really got things going our way. You know, it's just it.
We did respond well, though. I think I thought our offense responded well.
You just hate that even has to be discussed,
right?
And it's, you know, you don't want to discuss the refs, but when it was that bad, I think you're forced to. You're forced to bring up what ifs. You know, what if Freeler's in there? You know what if the drive doesn't get extended? Are they kicking field goals instead of scoring touchdowns?
Right.
Because we are a famous bend don't break team. I mean, so I don't know.
I was gonna say every year this rule comes up, and every year they say they need to do something about it, and they never really do. You know, like I said, I know I'm not the first person that talked about like a flagrant 1 and flagrant 2. But
I mean, going to the studio is what's supposed to eliminate that. So it's insane that you can review, that you're reviewing all these plays and then you're ignoring them. Thus that leads people to believe there's bias involved because everybody and their grandmama saw the replays. Well, they got more replays in the studio than we do. If we're seeing it, y'all seeing it. And you know me, I love to play devil's advocate, but you can't play devil's advocate on some of the ones that Baylor got away with. Thus, it leads people to believe we got jobbed. To a certain extent, I agree. But as we're about to talk about it, Iowa State still had their opportunities to win the game.
Before we move on, though,
okay,
on TV,
keep the ticker up.
On TV, you could see when Campbell was pointing at the video screen, like to freaking look at that.
Yeah,
the referee refused to turn his head.
Yeah.
To look up there. I mean,
yeah, that's in all the clips.
I was all like, "Damn!" I mean, watching that live, my jaw dropped. I was like, "Damn, dude!"
Yeah, like I told William, I'm like, I can't believe this because they kept replaying it and replaying it and replaying it. And everybody kept getting more fired up. I was a little surprised by that. I liked it, but
yeah.
So, moving on. So those penalties led to some opportunities for Baylor. And then we led to some opportunities for Baylor by not getting them off the field on 3rd and 4th down. And you know what? The thing that stood out to me is the adjustments that weren't being made. And I found it odd that they were literally running off tackles and sweeps to get these first downs and convert these things. And I'm like, they're not doing anything legendary. They're literally running off tackle plays, and they were doing it to the weak side. And I'm like, I said a couple of times during the game, watch, they're overloaded to the right. Watch the left. Come back to the left, and sure enough, there they go off left. We've got nobody out there they've got 5 yards, and it's like, what? I make money to fix computers, and I'm seeing this. Y'all make hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you're not? I mean, is my video game football skills giving me more awareness than you defensive coordinators and players? Because I just don't get it. What were you all seeing that you could not adjust to what Baylor was doing? And they didn't do it the whole damn game.
That could have a lot to do with Freeler too. We rely on our safeties for all those run fills. Because we have more of them. I mean, when you run a 3-man line, that's what you're relying on.
I will say this. Piggybacking off what you just said, William, about the off tackle stuff. I was surprised that they did not try to move the line of scrimmage. Our guys were holding up. The defensive line, I thought, was holding pretty strong. Just they opened up some holes for them to run through. The misdirection stuff was good, I thought. But, I was concerned with them just beating us down. And, their running back would be able to run a good 2 or 3 yards past line of scrimmage before, and get to a hole before we get to someone there. But I thought we were standing our ground fairly well.
Yeah, we weren't horrible in the run game. They just in that third quarter, or was it late, or was it early in the fourth quarter? Where they just got some timely first downs running the ball.
It was when they had that 7-minute drive.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But that goes back to the offense though too. The offense, we first drive, interception, and then we had two interceptions in the third quarter, so the defense was out there a lot. So I think that plays into it too.
Well, I thought
because you have the time of possession there in front of you, William. Because, like you said, that they had that 7-minute drive. I think the time of possession ended up being they controlled the game that way, and most of it to me was in the third quarter, which our two turnovers didn't help. Which the first one, I mean, he seamed it in there to Dekkers, Dekkers seamed it to Hutchinson, and it just popped off his guy. I think the guy actually ended up hitting the ball.
He hit the ball, and then it hit off another Baylor dude, who which then in turn went into that dude's hands.
But the second one was Dekkers' fault.
So time of possession, 34 to almost 35 to 25 for Baylor. So. But I thought, why are we not doing anything that BYU did against Baylor to shut that down? We literally just stayed back in our usual 3-3-5. We'd occasionally move that one of the outside linebackers up on the line. And I said they're literally just running a zone. They're doing a zone blocking screen, and they're able to double team one guy, get rid of him, and then move on. And I'm like, if you've got 5 dudes up on the line, and I said it in the weekly show, if you've got those 5 dudes up on that line, you could either rush them or pull them back, but it makes those linemen have to decide, do I have to get this dude across from me? If he does that, there's no way, you can't double team anybody else. And that gives our linemen an opportunity to do something. But when they're sitting back there, it gives them an opportunity. And there was a few times when we blitzed and we were able to get through, but it's like once in that running part, they're like, oh shit, those dudes are back. We can double team McDonald. We can double team Peterson, and then we can move on for them. And I'm like, you're not giving them any kind of different look. And they're running. They literally just kept running the same damn running play, and we just kept doing nothing about it. And I just didn't understand. I didn't understand why.
Yeah. I don't know if they were worried about giving up the big play or what. I mean, Shapen bailed him out there. I mean, he had a good game. I mean,
he did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He hit 11 different receivers?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that one play where I think we blitzed. I think we brought all the linebackers, and he somehow got out of that and threw that one for a first down, So, yeah, he played well. He did.
He did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. He played really well. Because, I mean, they had 3 turnovers against Texas State, and, they took care of the ball against us.
They did.
I mean, he didn't have any block passes or nothing. I mean, so I guess, hats off to him there.
Well, and there kind of in lies our bend don't break thing, is our willingness to give up the underneath to not get beat over the top. Well, that's cool and all, except if the other team's got athletes who can do stuff. Shapen is mobile enough that if he gets outside, now our players got to figure out what the hell to do, and it leaves holes in our zone scheme.
Did we get any hits on him at all?
Not really. No.
was gonna say
Definitely no good hits.
That well, that one on their first series looked like he was down. You know, that he chucked out. But then I think that was the play.
That was the penalty.
That was the penalty. Yep. But yeah, there was a few times where we had pressure on him, but he made plays to get out of it.
We got one quarterback hit.
Yeah,
Isaiah Lee had the one quarterback hit. While in contrast, they had 3.
Watching the Big 12 yesterday, I mean, he's easily one of the better quarterbacks, I think, in the league.
But I mean, we said if they were going to beat us, we wanted it to be where the quarterback had to do something that we wanted to lose in a way that they didn't want to lose. I mean, Baylor wants to run it down your throat, and I mean, dude had to play a great game, and he did. He was 19-26, 238, 3 touchdowns. One was just on a completely blown defense of effort by our part, which is one of those situations where I'm like, well, if Freeler's in there, does that happen?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's not.
I will say when that happened, I thought the game was over. I did like how we kept battling back after that because, just to see. I mean, that looked like some 1980s Cyclone defense shit where the dude's standing 40 yards downfield by himself and the quarterback just throws it up to him, you know. But yeah, the way they came back from that, I liked that.
I mean, because that would made it 31.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I made it 31-14.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was, then we got our 2 touchdowns and Shapen was able to just kind of chill and do his thing back there. We didn't get enough pressure.
Yep.
On and I mean, it just doesn't. You're gonna let somebody stand back there. I don't care who it is. The worst quarterback is going to be able to find somebody because the D-backs can't cover forever.
Right.
And so a bad quarterback with time is going to look like a great quarterback. Not that Shapen is a bad quarterback. It just all goes to the point that we gave a good quarterback time, and he did what he was supposed to. He did what he was supposed to do.
Yep. He had 0 turnovers, and Dekkers had 2. And Dekkers just wasn't as sharp as he'd been.
True. Nice.
And speaking of Dekkers, 2 interceptions. One I don't necessarily consider his fault. I mean, it was a ricochets happened, and the guy made a good play on the ball, and it ricocheted. They picked it off.
Yeah.
The second one, that was him. Oh, that was all him. Him in the passing game, he seems to. It's almost like sometimes he goes out there knowing who he's going to throw to, and he's like, "I'm throwing it to him," because there are some times where he's just missed. It's like Haneke's a big dude. How are you missing him? Yeah, I mean, he's literally right there crossing in front of you with nobody on him, and you're trying to throw to Hutch or Noel, who's got people near him, and it's like, were you? I mean, they only hit you 3 times.
They got close several though. I mean,
yeah.
My take on it was he felt that heat and was like, "I gotta hurt me at the top of my hands." That's what it looked like to me from the TV.
Which brings us to the next point about Dekkers is the running. Now, I was under the impression because people had said it, that he was a better runner than Purdy was. And I'm judging by yesterday, I'm going to say he's got more speed than Purdy.
He's more athletic.
But I don't think he's not shifty enough to get himself out of pressure and then not shifty enough and not decisive enough to say, this is done, I gotta get the hell out of here, and then get the hell out of here.
Right. And
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't played a lot. I mean, technically.
No.
But yeah. But to me, sometimes that's just feel, I do like that he'll stand in there and,
Yes, he will.
look for his guy, but yeah, I mean, like we talked earlier, they brought that up on the broadcast too about thinking he has opportunities. I know one thing that they don't do with him is they never roll him out. You saw Baylor doing it. I know it limits the field when you start rolling a guy to one side, but
also, I mean, I think of that play, which I haven't seen in a while, in a couple of games where they run Xavier and then they got Renault coming back after Xavier clears the zone, and then or vice versa, Noel clears out and then Xavier comes under and they're wide open for lots of green. I haven't seen that. I thought that would have been a perfect play. And you couple that in with a rollout against a super aggressive Baylor defense. I don't know. And
it could have been because their ends were getting our tight ends, and I know Brock missed one end that ended up in a sack. So maybe
we missed a few.
Yeah, maybe their pressure up the edges was not leading to doing anything like that. But I thought Noel had one of his best games. He had some big catches, I thought.
You're right. He had a good game.
Yeah, and same way with Stanley. So if we can get those guys where they're consistent, I think that'll be huge.
I think all three of the receivers.
Yeah.
I mean, Noel had 7 catches for 120. X had 8 for 84. Stanley had 4 for 55 and his first touchdown.
Yeah. So I thought that was good to see. I thought the tight ends kind of had a rough game, but
1 catch for 8 yards.
Yeah.
But like I said, he missed Hanukkah on a couple of times where I thought he's right there. I mean, your tight end is your safety net. Use them, and you're not using them. Wasn't Dekkers' best outing?
No. But so what do you guys think about this? Is that the best defense we've seen this year? I think it's the best defensive line.
I'm going with the Hawkeyes as the best defense.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I thought Baylor's defensive line was better with Ika. That dude. I mean, he disrupted the run game.
Yeah.
I think athletically, Baylor is probably better, but as for what they do and how they do it, I think Iowa's better.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
and I'm not saying that because Iowa's defense got me money this weekend.
I know, dude. I couldn't believe you had the over in that game, and I thought Oklahoma would play. I thought Oklahoma would take it to Kansas State. I was wrong there. And what was the third? what was the third one?
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
All teams I hate.
Yep.
They all came through for me. Peace. Magnifique. But I mean, hats off to Baylor. I mean, Baylor did nothing spectacular. I mean, they had the big woo wow, flea flicker play.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, there was nothing that they didn't do anything where I was just where that let me believe that you're just heads and shoulders better than Iowa State.
Right. I mean, we knew coming in that on both lines that they were good, and I would say that they were better than us, but they weren't head and shoulders better.
Yeah, they didn't overpower us.
No,
I agree with that.
Yeah,
because even with all the shenanigans and the turnovers and a couple of really bad passes on those outs to the back by Dekkers, we literally still only lost by a touchdown.
Right.
I mean, with all that mess, there was still an opportunity to win, and we just couldn't get it done. 5 of 13. They were 5 of 13 on third down, which doesn't it seem like they were better? Of course, with penalties. We were 8 of 15 on third down, 1 of 2 on fourth down. They were 2 of 3. Yeah, we had 2 sacks. They had 4.
Right. Oh damn! It was 4, huh?
Yeah. I mean, which skew the rushing numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, a bright spot. What about special teams?
I was just gonna say that.
Come on, William. Come on.
Our field goal kicker, you got to give up. I was worried.
Yeah.
I was worried. I mean, I thought that was a pressure kick. I thought that was a pressure kick at the end. Because it was close. It was an odd angle, and he's a freshman. I just didn't have a good feeling about it, and he banged it through. Good job. Punter was good too, William. Punter was
good job. Too.
Punter was good. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Come on, man.
Let's pump the brakes on the punter.
Beyond expectations. Come on.
Were we at the same game? Were we watching the same game? They didn't rush anybody.
That's fine.
He should have done that.
Okay, then. So.
There we go.
Yes.
I mean, but y'all over here like, hell yeah, he didn't. Nah, fuck that. He didn't do a damn thing. He did what he was supposed to do with no pressure.
He kicked it well.
Because Baylor decided there just like, nah, we ain't rushing it.
Because the one he pinned him deep, but we let him go on that 90-yard drive.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
hey,
congratulations. You didn't get your shit blocked this week. Congratulations. Way to go. They rushed one dude at our 2 blockers.
That's 2 weeks in a row, William. We got to train.
It's not his fault. They did not say.
Yeah. He did his job.
I'm not saying it is, but I'm sure as hell not giving you props. That would be like me giving Shapen props for getting that ball, that dude standing wide by himself in the end zone. That's what you're supposed to do. When you got nobody near you and a man standing there deep, wide open. I mean, our man couldn't even hit a dude in the flat. So, but you know what? Props to the field goal kicker. I'd still like us to be able to find somebody who can kick that shit out of the end zone on kickoff.
I think they do that purposely.
I think it's dumb. I mean, because guess what? How many kickoff returns have we given up?
I know, especially against Baylor. We had one against Baylor. But
so it's like, it's like the little kid who keeps sticking his hand in the fire to play. I mean, how many times are we? We're just so
scarred. We're just so scarred.
Jeez. Yeah, that doesn't hurt anymore. I mean.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. So I mean, but you know what? You're right. The field goal kicking. Yeah. Hey, hats off to Cap. Those weren't angles, and more than that, they weren't good angles. But more than that is the pressure situation. Dude was under because if he misses that field goal, everybody leaves the stadium.
Yep.
That's just a wrap. Everybody's out of there. I'm actually glad that they decided to kick it instead of going for the touchdown, because I'm like, you know what, no matter what, we gotta get the onside.
Well,
just go ahead and take that damn field goal.
And they're showing confidence there in the kicker, you know. So that's a good thing.
Yes, it was. So
because
we didn't get it onside. They take
close.
Me.
It was close, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean it was right there, but no, they covered it and they escaped with that 31-24 win. They stay undefeated. We lose the game. Probably KU's probably mad because there's absolutely no way game days coming for KU Iowa State next week. We got a loss.
Shit, they probably still would have been going to NC State Clemson.
But something I need to address. I've addressed it before. I am not putting up the nitpicking sign because this is not nitpicking. The Iowa State in-game experience is awful. I think it's trashy. I think it's literally up to the crowd.
Trashy?
Yep.
Go ahead.
It's literally up to the crowd to get themselves hyped up. Your marketing department getting everything going is awful. Where are the red outs? Where are the white outs? Where are the blackouts?
The media doesn't support that around here. Because it's an Iowa market. If Iowa does their stripes, you hear all about that. Everywhere.
That's what I'm talking about. It's up to.
You're out in Omaha where there's one school, but Iowa State does that stuff, and it just never goes over.
They got to force that. I mean, figure it out. Figure out some way to get that going. It's not just those things. I mean, I said it before and I'll say it again. The students being down in the corner was an asinine decision. It may have. Hey, guess what? We're not going to have any Dana Holgerson confrontations, but now you have separated the students and the band, and I think it's a bad decision. I know I'm not the only one out there that believes it, but I think you've stifled a major part of crowd noise by shoving them in the damn corner. When the other team's down by the band can't play. They can't play to create crowd noise, and you've got our major noise makers way down on the other end. I think it's a ridiculous decision. I think there are some money grabs involved in this decisions.
How's that?
When you start shifting around where people are sitting, where these donors are at and where these donors are at. I mean, let's be honest. Dude's trying to make his damn money. And as well he should. But I think there's got to be something said about keeping the atmosphere advantageous for your team. And I think he pulled a bad move with that. I mean, we really shifted our students away because one known crybaby ass coach didn't like it because his team got beat and our students stormed the field. Like their students ain't ever stormed the goddamn field.
I think it's happened a couple times since then, but yeah,
still,
yeah.
I mean, I did not hear Steve Sarkisian say a goddamn word about Texas Tech storming the field.
Well, did you see that video? There's a video out of a Texas Tech kid just trucking a Texas player just from behind. I mean, but anyway, I mean, as far as them being down there, my biggest deal is the band thing. Just because, right? You just see how they don't interact with the band now. Whether if you need to have part of the pep band down there, like when they come up in our section, whether you just leave them in their section, have a pep band in their section to get that to keep that stuff going, that's what I would do. But as far as the crowd, I mean, the crowd was good.
Well, part of that led to the fact that everybody was angry as hell. I mean, hey, nothing generates a loud response like getting hosed,
especially at Iowa State.
Yeah,
bad call. They love that shit.
I mean, we had the pitchforks and torches out. Yeah. Everybody was hyped, but that's where it is. My last gripe is in between third and fourth quarter when you really want that's when you should really be getting your crowd hyped up. I said it before. Wisconsin's got Jump Around. Washington got Purple Rain. Nebraska's got We See Red People. People got their things. And what do we have? A damn insurance commercial.
Oh, then they played Jump Around, and then they followed that up with Panama.
The Juicy Wiggle or something like that.
Yeah, they decided to play that later on.
Well, they always do that when there's momentum in the game, which is good. I like that. But to me, there's because the music got better in the fourth quarter when stuff started happening. Later, it's like I don't know if it's because I hadn't been to a game for a while, and the last time when I really noticed it was at the Baylor game when we had the fight. What was that, 2 or 3 years ago or whatever?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know any of these songs, but this, I mean, it's all EDM stuff, like, and I'm like, this is good. I'm like, it's like excited, it's just like keeping the crowd up because it was a cold ass game, but I didn't know any of the songs or nothing, and you guys know me. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to know the pop stuff and all that, but it was good. And now, and like I said, like William said, they have an insurance commercial, and then they follow it up with Jump Around, and then they play Panama, and it's just like, these kids weren't even born when these songs came out, and
they associate Jump Around with Wisconsin.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Why are you playing somebody else's in the third quarter song?
One thing they do a lot is they play "Won't Back Down" by Tom Petty, and when you were having your rant, I'm like, man, I hope they don't play fucking Tom Petty. I'm like, he's gonna lose it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just some of the. I mean, I thought playing "Sweet Carolina" at the end of the third was dumb, yes. but the crowd got into it, and right. I like, as long as the crowd's getting into something, I really don't care. But I think you come out of the gates with a damn insurance commercial, and everybody's just like,
well, you can even play some bullshit like Seven Nation Army, I mean.
Yeah, thank you. Anything. Yeah. Something that gets the crowd up and off their feet and going into especially, guess what? When we played Ohio, we didn't run all the goddamn insurance commercials you want to. That game was over. But this was a needed conference game against a good damn team, and we should have been. I was telling Brian, I was like, it's literally like there's a different person up there every week.
Right, because last year I thought was pretty good too, as far as the playing stuff I didn't know, because I remember asking you about songs, and I'm like, oh, this stuff's interesting, yeah.
Won't Back Down. What was the other one you said?
Panama. And Jump Around.
Sounds like some wealthy cats that graduated from high school in the 80s are influencing the music list there.
I mean,
but then in the fourth quarter, they're back to after Juicy Wiggle, they were playing good stuff. It was energetic stuff. I didn't know any of it.
And that's why I say it seems like there's somebody different.
Yeah.
Because or somebody else takes over. Because the pregame music,
Yeah.
is hyped.
Yep.
Pregame music.
I remember saying that last year too. I was like,
it's
where
like,
do I find
damn.
all this?
That's a college student working for Mike Green.
Yep. And then they come and tap say college student on the shoulder and been like, okay, go on down to the student section and sit down and enjoy the game.
To me, between third and fourth, it needs to be like some DJ medley shit, like some type of mix, because you know how we are as fans. It's like if you start playing a song, like if you try to play one song and they lose 3 times in a row, you don't want to hear that fucking song no more. You're like, oh, here we go. So just play some energetic, stuff that people can clap along to and jump, and the students are going to jump up and down and go with that.
Yeah.
And students know what that is.
Exactly right. Yes.
I agree with that. But
because the old people will never get the crowd hype. But the students start their thing, and then it starts going around.
Dude, come on, Panama is a rockin' song.
I love Panama, dude.
Shit.
Yeah, I love House of Pain. But
play DJ Cool's "Let Me Clear My Throat."
Exactly right.
I mean, that's something. Guess what? We know it as their lover dance.
There we go.
Kids know it as "Let Me Clear My Throat." I mean, play that. That's something that all the generations know. Play rock basses. It takes 2. I mean,
shit. All they gotta do
that transcends.
Yeah. Go to a high school basketball game, boys or girls, and listen to the warm up music, and
there you go. Yep. And to me, you just do a mix up. If you could just do like even the songs Wayne just said, "Let Me Clear My Throat." It takes 2. You do mixes of those.
Right.
Throw DMX's "Party Up" in there.
Yeah.
Who the hell don't know that?
Yes.
Right.
I don't care what you listen to. You know that song.
And now we know they got edited versions of all that stuff.
Yeah. We prove it.
Yeah. Oh, shoot.
So, yeah. You notice I did not put I'm a nitpicker up on that one.
No.
I'm like, I ain't nitpicking on
that. No, I agree.
Person.
I agree. Like I said, I was just sitting there going, please don't play Tom Petty. Please don't play Tom Petty, because William he's gonna have to then he'll stand up and shout.
I'm heading straight to the. I'm heading to the booth.
Yeah, he's having words with somebody.
Oh, open up!
Let me in this elevator. Let me in this elevator.
Nice.
I'm like, nah, I need to see the DJ, please.
Yeah. Trying to hack their touch tunes and shit.
No shit. Ain't that the truth? Yeah, let me find out they got touch tunes, and I'm changing it. We gonna be hearing "Bombs Over Baghdad." That's gonna be the new third quarter song.
There we go.
Well, people, I mean, there you have it. Lost to Baylor 31-24. Hard game. I mean, no matter what we said here, the Cyclones did what the Cyclones do, and that was they fought their ass off.
Yep.
Win or lose, you know what you're going to get with Matt Campbell's Cyclone, and that's a team that's going to fight to the finish, and that's exactly what they did.
And it hasn't always been like that. I mean, there's been so many years where they make that play on that double reverse, and it's over. We mail it in, But yeah, these guys didn't do that.
So, yeah. So we come back on Saturday with KU.
I can't believe they're not ranked. I can't believe they're not ranked, and now Kansas State's ranked.
Well, I mean, let's buzz through the Big 12 right quick and talk about what happened. I mean, we mentioned next week's opponent, and it was You know, KU had a tough game at home against Duke. They sold out their stadium for said game, and hats off to them.
They kind of dominated, didn't they?
They got a man in Jalen Daniels that, wow, he's just doing impressive things. 324 and 4 touchdowns in the air, 83 and 1 more on the ground, and they're actual worry.
Oh yeah,
they have carried the momentum from that Texas win into the next season. They've got a program-defining QB in Daniels, and they got what now has to be an extremely hot name in the coaching world.
Yep. They got a couple good running backs too. I know they had that kid from last year that was a 4-star, but then they had a transfer from Minnesota that's playing real well.
Oh, Daniel Hicksaw and Devin Neal.
Yeah.
Are there? I mean, they split the carry. Daniels had 11, Hicksaw had 10, Neal had 9.
Oh wow!
So, and he spread the ball around. Hit 8 different receivers. Yeah, he's just. I don't know if saying he's mobile is good enough. I mean,
yeah, because he has like track speed, doesn't he?
The plays he made just last year against Texas and OU, and it's like, okay,
yeah. They probably
wow.
Oklahoma got lucky last year.
They did. They had that lucky ass play, that got them that win, and then they took it to Texas, and now they're taking it to people, which is. I mean, they beat up Texas Tech. They beat up West Virginia, beat up Houston, and then, won by 8 against Duke.
Tennessee Tech.
Or Tennessee Tech.
Tennessee Tech, yeah.
So, I mean, we're going to have our hands full, but, we'll talk about that on Wednesday. Going back to Thursday, West Virginia smokes Virginia Tech.
I was surprised by that.
I mean, West Virginia, it was like, oh, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
They come out. I mean, that was a tough loss right off the bat in the backyard brawl, the pit. And they got handled by Kansas, and it was like, okay. And, they beat up Townsend State pretty good. Virginia Tech comes a calling, and whammo.
Yeah.
And then now they got they're on the road in Texas this week.
That'll be interesting.
Night game on FS1. We saw Baylor. I'll save that one. Texas or TCU.
I didn't see any of that.
I didn't see any of that either. They won 42-34. Mordecai throws for almost 400 yards, 2 touchdowns. Oh no, that's for SMU. It was just Duggan.
Duggan's their starter.
The 22 of 29, 278, 3 touchdowns. Kendra Miller, 17 carries for 142 yards.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and 11 different dudes caught passes for TCU. So. Yeah, they I mean, what they got coming up. They got they're 3-0, beat a horrible Colorado team. Colorado might be one of the worst teams in the country right now. Then they beat up Tarleton and SMU. And then they got OU at home. This week is the 11 a.m. game. Then Texas Tech and Texas went to OT.
I watched that, man.
I watched that as well.
Did you?
Didn't see that.
Yeah, I watched
Texas defense couldn't get off the field.
No, not when I had to. Donovan Smith, you had Donovan Smith, who's athletic, going up against Hudson Card, who was athletic, still moving around well, even though he's nursing that ankle injury. It's going to be interesting to see what they do when old boy is able to come back. But Donovan Smith, 331 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ran for another 42 and a touchdown. So Roger Thompson had 70 yards on the ground. They win that bad boy. I thought they gave it up. Card had a great drive at the end. I think Texas Tech kind of played a little too loose.
Yeah, no kidding.
And they were able to
20 seconds and then get them in field goal range.
And then they kick that field goal to get in. And then Texas Tech gets it in OT. So Miles Price, 13 catches.
Yeah, number one. Yeah, he was abusing them.
Yeah. And then the moneymaker. I was watching this game close. At halftime, I was smiling.
Damn, you had to cheer for K-State, didn't you?
I just had to cheer. I could. Didn't matter who won. I just needed them points.
Yeah.
I just needed them points. But I said that boy was going to be scary. Adrian Martinez. Now that he's got a coaching staff who's putting the right players on the field with him. Yeah, he throws for 234 and a touchdown. Carried the ball 21 times for 148. Deuce Vaughn carried the ball 25 for 115. They ran all through OU.
I think it says more about OU than it does. K-State played great. Hats off to them. But I've always been waiting to see on Oklahoma this year because, Dylan Gabriel is a career 60% passer. That's not. Does that cut it at Oklahoma? You know what they're used to, and then
330 and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah,
and 61 yards on the ground.
Yeah, but when there was a lot of long, just when I fell asleep, but it looked like a lot of long pass plays. But anyway, yeah. But but back to their defense. Is their defense? Is Venables going to be able to turn them around that much in year one? When they lost all those transfers too.
No, there's obviously going to be. We talked about it at the beginning for them and for Texas. There's obviously going to be a learning curve when you got that many transfers.
Right.
But that ain't got nothing to do with the fact that these two dudes were blistering you because. Deuce Vaughn is Deuce motherfucking Vaughn.
Yeah.
He's a legitimate problem.
Yep.
And now they've got a confident Adrian Martinez, who is also now going to be a damn problem.
And the chip on his shoulder.
Yep. Because this man lived for 4 years with a state bashing the shit out of him. And now, it goes to show how bad Frost was.
Yeah. Yeah.
That he hops into K-State and has this kind of success. It was crazy to see how many of the well-wishers there was for Martinez and F. Scott Frost messages that were going out there. I asked Gerald, is it good job, Martinez, or is it F him? And he was like, oh no, it's good job. I mean, it's F Scott Frost. is what he said. So, yeah, I just think it's gonna be a problem. I mean, OU's still gonna be a problem.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
They still ran the ball as a team for 220 yards. Like I said, dude threw for, he had 330 yards, he had 8.5 yard average. Marvin Mims is still Marvin Mims.
That Weiss guy was pretty good too, wasn't he?
Yep, he had 3 catches for 75 yards.
Yeah. Hey, one thing, you're talking about game ops while you're looking at those stats. Dude, Oklahoma scores a touchdown. They freaking turn out the lights. They shoot off fireworks, and then they flash the lights. They make a field goal. They do it halfway. I'm like, that is stupid. I'm sorry. That's fucking dumb.
Does it get the crowd riled up?
You scored. You don't have to shoot off freaking fireworks.
But you know what? But
you lose the damn game.
Well,
screw that. That's stupid. I do not like.
I don't know. Hey, you know what? The last thing I'm going to do is bang on anything with game day experience that we have.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it's easy. We probably do more salutes to the military than goddamn Army, Navy, and Air Force. No offense to any of those servicemen, but we probably do more salutes to them than the military schools do. It's like, what is this? Are we a military academy all of a sudden?
No, they get paid to do those.
I understand that shit. Do something to somebody in the interior design. Shout out the damn the veterinarian people.
There's only they only do 2, William, 1.5. Come on, man.
But it's like VJ said, is the crowd getting into it? That's all that matters.
So. No, you scored a touchdown.
Well, I mean, we don't know because because we're not there and we can't tell.
Yeah, it just looks stupid to me.
I mean, aesthetic, because you know what? Because you don't like OU.
Well. No, seriously. I mean, you're Oklahoma. You don't have to shoot off fireworks or you score a fucking touchdown because everybody score so many of them.
Everybody's looking for the game day experience. It's like the people who gotta do the push-ups. I mean, you really gotta do 70 push-ups. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. That just bugs me. But that's
okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Do you need fireworks after the Cyclones score, William?
No, that's not my problem with Iowa State. My problem with Iowa State is well documented on their game day experience.
I know. Yeah.
However, if they did light fireworks off after every score and they got the crowd pumped up, so be it.
Whatever gets the crowd going and keeps the crowd going is what I'm for.
We should do fireworks after every bullshit fucking call.
We don't have that. We don't have that kind of money.
Kaboom!
We don't have that kind of money.
Oh shit.
We'll have a Woodstock ride on our hands.
Yeah, we'd have to use the 4th of July budget for Ames if that was the case.
Oh shit.
So, all right. Well, there you go. You got our take on the Baylor Iowa State game. You got our take on the Iowa State game atmosphere, and you got a Big 12 wrap up for the week. We'll be back here on Wednesday. Well, Wednesday for us. Y'all ain't gonna see that until Thursday night, Friday morning.
Get that out there Thursday, William.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll just see how many times I gotta bleep myself and cut myself. All right, but yeah, thanks for anybody that's liking the show, subscribing to the show, watching the show, tell a friend about the show. Side Eye Podcast. We out.
Go Cyclones.
Peace.